Good morning. We have just left Fradley Junction and we're on our way to Armitage. Famous for making toilets. But actually this is just our return journey to Great Haywood, and if you didn't see the last video where we came from Great Haywood to Fradley Junction, there's a link for it just here. But this is just the one lock that we got to negotiate today. It's a very busy Easter bank holiday weekend, but we've got a little bit of a journey to do, and we're going to go and see a bit of a market today.
And still on the canal, the Trent and Mersey being one of the older canals, there is still some of the old industry that goes back to the 1800s, and King's Bromley Wharf is just one of those spots. It was lovely to see all the ducklings coming out, and this particular family had 17 ducks.
We came from that way last year. Here's a link to the video.
And then we were able to have a wander around at Great Haywood, the marketplace. And as I said, this is one junction that we'd already returned to, but in the Easter weekend, all these old boats come along with mostly arts and crafts that they can sell for the wares, and they're here for the weekend and they take up all the mooring spots. But there was nothing that particularly grabbed our fancy apart from the hot dogs.
So we're back on the cuts, still on a section that we did last year. We're just off heading to Rugeley. It's got a little bit of a problem with the engine again, but a small problem that needs to be resolved. So we're going to be meeting Steve from RCR this morning, and he's going to be changing my oil filter for me. Over there, that is Rugeley Power Station, and we're not going to be too far from there when we meet Steve.
Some lovely properties that are back onto the canal, and most of them had very well tended gardens.
Now we are train going by, Virgin Express. Now we're just going past quite a famous building, a company that's been flush with success. They've never drained their budgets, and we're in a village or a town called Armitage, and there's a famous ceramics factory called Armitage Shanks, and yeah, they certainly haven't peed up their profits. And if you check out your toilets, your wash basins, you might have an Armitage Shanks cistern, maybe. Anyway, here's the building at the back of a rather famous loo factory. Yeah, you could say this is the rear end of Armitage Shanks building. Some people might even call it the end of Armitage Shanks.
So just through the other side of the industrial area, we come across this very nice pub. Oh, that's too early in the morning for this. Now this is one of the old tunnels, the Armitage Tunnel, that obviously got remodelled when they put the road across it. And after we got past Rugeley, someone told me that there was going to be an explosion. So I was trying to video this while still moving the boat, and of course as soon as I put the camera down, there was a loud bang, but none of the chimneys came down. It was obviously some other building.
Little Haywood, this lock is actually known as Colwich Lock. It's the first lock we've come to since Harry was. Long way, long distance. Anyway, nice little trip, and yeah, we're hoping for better weather at the moment, but not as good as the Easter weekend. However, we're in no hurry, and hopefully at some point we shall look forward to going down to the Lang document. Mandy's doing a sterling job as usual, operating the gates.
And both dogs were enjoying, if not the weather, at least some of the tranquility of the riverside.
Go canaling, they said. Enjoying the spring weather, they said. Yeah. And so here we are, ready for season. And we're back at Little Haywood. Not sure if you can see the church behind me, little steeple. But yeah, we're back at Little Haywood, and once we get to Great Haywood, which is only about a mile upstream, then we're into new territory, and we are going to head towards Stoke. But we've had some interesting weather this morning, and the weather's not going to be much better this afternoon, so once we get to Great Haywood we will stop and get some provisions. Well, good morning. It's day 3 of our trip back up the Trent and Mersey, and we've gone past Great Haywood, and now we are at Weston, or Weston upon Trent, and there's a beautiful pub just by Bridge 80 called the Saracen's Head, which about 18 months ago was done up, and we had a lovely dinner last night. I shall put a link somewhere up there that will tell you about this beautiful pub. If you come anywhere near Stafford or in Staffordshire, then come and visit this lovely pub called the Saracen's Head. They did some very, very nice mussels, and they did some lovely scallops, and I had the best pie, because I do love my pies. But anyway, yesterday was a complete washout, dreadful, so we're hoping for a bit better today. We're going to head to Stone, have a little wander around Stone and go and get ourselves a cup of coffee. But in the meantime, here's the Saracen's Head. A bit of a brighter day today. It's our first lock. We're here in Standon. We're just coming to the village of Stone. Coffee. So Mandy is working on her outdoor gym. She just closed these gates at the back. And you may recall last year we had a little bit of smoking problems after our new engine was fitted, but I'm pleased to say that that's now been repaired. And as we enter Little Stoke, we're going to have a little wander around. This is a lock just outside of that.
So this marks the halfway point between one end of the Trent and Mersey and the other. We weren't actually going to go to Preston Brook, and if you want to pause now, this will tell you about the canal.
We arrive in Stone, so we just left Little Stoke, tiny little place. Obviously Big Stoke still to come, but we're going to go straight through Big Stoke, we think, 'cause it's a bit industrial. And Harecastle Tunnel as well is to come. But we're going to have a look around Little Stoke. No, we're going to have a look around Stone.
So it seemed pretty much to us that Stone, just below Stoke-upon-Trent, is a town similar to many others that is suffering the decline in the retail industry. A number of pubs, a number of nice little pop-in shops, but a very quiet town to walk through. But nevertheless, it was a good stop-off point. We didn't stop in any of the pubs. We decided to continue our journey, of which we will pick that up next week. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching again. Please do give us a thumbs up, and don't forget, you can subscribe and spread the word that It's a Narrowboat Life is back on the cut. Until next time, see you again.